Want to see how easy it is to take a fitted pants pattern and turn it into a palazzo pants? Let me show you. Hi, welcome to the Creative Nest. I'm Catherine. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you like what you see and you subscribe for more. In today's video, I will share with you how easy it is to take a fitted pants pattern and turn it into the palazzo pants that you see me wearing. If that is something that you are interested in, then keep on watching. Okay, so in order for us to go from a fitted pants to a palazzo pants, we're only going to change the front and the back pants pieces. Pattern is the original size pattern, and you would see that the pants now is much bigger, and that's because I don't want a tight palazzo pants, because this was my fitted pants pattern, and because I wanted it close to my body. But for my palazzo, I want my palazzo pants to be a little bit looser. So hence the reason why we have excess fabric around our pattern. To my front crotch, just about not even half an inch, little less than half an inch. Then on my side, I added a ½ inch, and then I extended it down where my original length stopped, and that was a little bit too short for me, but that was the look that I was going for in that particular video. So from here, where my pants originally started, I went down 4 inches, and where my pants ended, I came out by 1½ inches, and I extended that line straight up to the ½ inch that I added. And on the front, I did the exact same thing. So where my front originally ended, I came out 1½, so I came out 1½ inches on both sides, and I just extended the line straight up to my hip. If you have any questions or need clarity on anything, just leave it in the comment section below this video. Okay, so for the back piece, I wanted my crotch to be a little bit looser, so I came out about a little less than an inch, almost an inch. And then I extended the back by the same 4 inches in length that I did for the front. And on both sides, I extended my line to 1½ inches. And then I took that line and extended it up to my hip line. That is what I did. So the same thing I did for the front is what I did for the back. The only difference is for the back crotch, I added an inch. I started off with an inch, and then I just blended it into the original hip line. So we have our back, front pockets, and I'm thinking about putting carriers on this pants. So this is my piece for my carriers. This is my piece for my fly, and I cut it on the fold. It's my zipper shield. I'm going to zigzag stitch. And lastly, my band and a zipper. So I don't have a zipper that color, but I'm going to improvise. Now that we have all of our pieces, let's get sewing. First thing we're going to do is insert our parts. Okay, so now that we have all of our darts, we're just going to pin them in place. Okay, so now that we have both of our darts pinned, what's going to happen with the back darts, that is what you should have. Please don't be alarmed if you see that. That is how it's supposed to be. But it's going to fall into place. When you do your darts, make sure that you back stitch. But when you get to the end, just let it run off, because you need the thread to tie it so it doesn't have any puckers in it. Now that you have all of your darts in, you're going to take it to the ironing board. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to come back and show you the next step. Okay, so now that we have all of our darts pressed, and like I said, it's pressed towards the back, and we did that for the front and the back pieces. So we're going to put the back pieces aside, and we're going to work on the front piece, because we're going to insert our pockets. So left sides to right sides. I'm going to pin them down. That to my machine, and I'm going to stitch using a 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to top stitch. So I'm doing that right now. So we're going to put wrong sides together, then you stitch, and then you turn it inside out, stitch again on the outside. Just did a little curve on the pocket, so we're going to cut that, and we are going to top stitch. Do the same exact thing on the other side. And done with that, I will show you the next step. So now that we have both of our pockets sewn together, all right, so we're going to edge stitch that in place and that in place. Now we have a pocket. Okay, so the next thing for us to do is put in our zipper. I showed you how to do a zipper, so I'm going to do that part of camera, and then when I'm done with putting in my zipper, I'm going to come back and show you the next step. And there's just one more thing I have to do, and that is to put some 1 or 2 stitches there just to hold that in place. So let me do that now, and then when I'm done with that, I'm going to put my back pieces together. So I'm going to pin my 2 back pieces together at the crotch seam. So now that I have it pinned, I'm going to stitch from a 1/2 inch and then go into 1 inch to the top. So a 1/2 inch and then go into end with 1 inch. So let me do that now. I'm going to stitch my front and back together, side seams. I'm going to iron down my crotch, back crotch. I will stitch my back and front together at side seams. Alright, so that's the carrier. Stitch on both sides, as you can see. I'm going to measure these in 3.5 strips, so I should have 5 pieces. 5 carriers, well 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we only need 5. Alright, so now that we have both of our side seams pinned, we're going to stitch using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Once we finish sewing the side seams, sew the inseam, and then we're going to try the pants on. Let me just pin this, and then I'll show you the next step. At this point, I'm going to try my pants on. So I tried on my pants. That's good. I'm going to measure my waist. All right, so 17 and 17 is 7 of 34. Let me add some pellon to my band because it's so flimsy, and the pellon is going to give it a little bit of structure. So let me do that right quick. I have my band interfaced. I'm going to put the carriers. Okay, so one carrier definitely will be right here. So let me put that one there. We find a pretty side. Not too pretty, but I'll put it down, and I will stick a pin there. Make sure it's centered. This carrier will go here. I put the next carrier right here. So the next one will go here. Make sure you center it. Next one. I need to hurry up because in here feels like a furnace. My word. And it's hot. It ain't playing hot and hot. Take it out of our band. I'm gonna do this off camera, and then I'll show you the next step because I need to turn my fan on for a second. Okay, so now that I caught some fresh air, I can sew the band on because that is the step where we are now, and you're going to stitch using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So let's do that now. Okay, so this is how your pants should be looking. These are your carriers, and you should have 5 carriers, 2 in the front, 1 on either side seam, and 1 in the back seam. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is do the 1/2 inch because we're using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So let me do in my 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I'm going to bring that side down to meet the other side, and I'm going to stitch right there. Hopefully you could see what I'm doing. So you're going to stitch right here, from here to the top. I'm going to turn that over, clip it, turn it over, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, make sure you point out your corners. The next thing that we're going to do is in the ditch. But before I stitch in the ditch, I'm just going to put that, remember that's our original stitch, so you want to make sure that our 1/2 inch is covering that. And make sure we still have our 1.5 inches. We're going to pin on this side, and then we're going to remove the pins. We're going to then take the pins and put it on this side because we're going to stitch in the ditch. So let me hurry up. Let me pin this down quickly. All right, so now that we have everything pinned down, and I double checked as I was pinning to make sure that I still maintain my 1.5 inches for my band. So let's take it to the machine to make it easier. I'm just going to stitch on the top. Next thing I'm going to do is take my carriers, and I'm just going to turn it over like that and just pin it right there. Make sure it's even, and I'm just going to stitch on the top. And I'm doing that. I'm going to do that for all of the carriers. Steps left. That is for me to finish it with a hook and eye, hem my pants. So I'm going to turn over 1 inch and 1 inch again, and then I'm going to pin, and then I'm going to stitch, and then when you see me again, it will be me showing you the finished product. Okay, this is it. This is the pants that I just made for you, and I think it turned out so beautiful. And I paired it with another one of my tops that I would have made, and you would see that in one of my other videos. Actually, you would see that in probably my coordinates video, so I will put a link to that video in the description box. Okay, so this is the front of the pants. I'll make sure I'm not flashing you. This is the back of the pants. And I put carriers in this pants as well as pockets. Now, don't ask about that color. We ain't gonna talk about that. Alright, so if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to me in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Come and join the Creative Nest family. I will see you in the next video. Be blessed. Bye.